Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about anime backstories. So when it comes to anime, what I think really makes a good anime or what captures the audience attention is a good backstory. I believe that these stories allow for the audience to see the characters in a state where they're coming from, either to relate or sympathize with the character. What distinguishes a good anime from a bad one is allowing the audience enough time to form a connection with the characters and developing the characters in a way where the actions that they've done so far make sense. This is where backstories come in. Today I'm just going to be talking about some anime and characters that I feel had some really great backstories and very impactful ones. So the first anime I'm going to be talking about is Duro, and this will be Hikamaru. The backstory of Hikamaru is that from birth, his body was stolen from him due to the fact that his own father sold it / made a pact with demons in order for his land to be prosperous. His father disregarded him as nothing but a sacrifice to be used. Hikamaru literally was robbed of everything: his skin, his eyes, his limb, his voice, his spine, and he was even cast as an outcast. It wasn't until a doctor who saves him and gives him artificial prosthetics to help him survive. Hikamaru now has to go on this journey of slaying demons in order to get his body parts back that was stolen from him. The impact of this backstory. A backstory like this really engaged the audience. You get to see the suffering of a young man due to the ambition of his own father. It's the concept of the father doing this to his own son, firstborn son at that, I feel as though is what really hooks the audience in. For me, it was what really hooked me in, as well as gaining the understanding of why Hikamaru is so desperate for revenge. As an audience, if you're first starting to watch the anime and you're just seeing a guy fighting demons without knowing the backstory, you wouldn't really care or root for Hikamaru as much as you do once you learn his backstory. But knowing the backstory, now you understand why it's so important for him to beat these demons, all the amount of trauma that he's carrying. The next anime that I think really had a great backstory and one of the characters that had a super great backstory is from One Piece, and this is Nico Robin's backstory. So the backstory is that in One Piece, I think a lot of characters have really great backstory, but one of the backstories that I really enjoyed the most was Nico Robin. The backstory is like Nico comes from the island of Ora, probably said that wrong, and a family are archaeologists. Her mother left out for sea when I think Nico was about 2 to go find the true history. When her mother left Nico in the care of the mother's brother, her uncle, and his wife. The brother's wife didn't really like Nico Robin, and would mentally and physically abuse her, and also her devil fruit powers didn't really make it easy for her. It caused her to be an outcast within the community and among her peers. The only people that accepted her were the scholars from the Tree of Knowledge. At the age of 8, Nico Robin was accepted into their society after passing her archaeologist exam. So, long story short, the Tree of Knowledge was about to discover like the true history and knew about the polygraph. Oh my gosh, I can not think about what I said, but if you watch One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. And the Marines didn't really like that and sent ships to the islands to destroy it. And then Nico's mom became deemed a criminal due to being an archaeologist. So when the Marines came to the islands, they basically destroyed everything. And Nico Robin's mom came back to the island too, but Nico didn't really know that was her mother. So long story short, her mother denied that Nico Robin was her daughter in order to save her, but the Marines destroyed the islands. They burned down everything. They burned down the Tree of Knowledge. They basically destroyed the whole island. And they killed Nico's mom right in front of him. And Nico Robin was the only one who was able to survive due to her giant friend, her friend that was a giant. The impact of this backstory. So when we learn about Nico's Robin backstory is when she has been captured by the Marines, is about to be executed. She has already been with the Straw Hat Pirates for some time, so there's a bond that has been formed between them. The impact of the backstory shows how Nico had everything taken from her and didn't really have to will to live. So when Luffy and the others came to rescue her, it made it even more impactful. The audience could now understand the meaning behind Nico's Robin action and the symbolicness of the tears that she shed, and when she shouted to Luffy and the crew that she wanted to live and be part of them still. The last anime that we're going to be talking about that I feel had a really good backstory that I really enjoy is The Promised Neverland, and will be the backstory of Ray. The backstory of Ray is probably one of the saddest of all the children at Gracefield, just because he could remember everything from birth. He already knew the truth and the true nature of their mother. So basically, the kids on the farms are being fed and grown to be food for demons. And each time the kids leave the orphanage is not because they're getting adopted, but it's actually because they're about to be eaten by demons. None of the kids knew about this except for Ray from the beginning, because he was the only one who could remember things from being a baby, like an infant. So from the beginning, Ray was the only one who had to carry the burden of knowing that their siblings were actually leaving to die and not to be adopted. For 12 years, Ray had to suffer alone, being the only one that knew the truth until the others, Emma and Norman, figure out the truth. The impact of this backstory. The plot twist, and really it was the plot twist, and the fact that he had to hold on to the secret for basically 12 years all by himself, and it was his own mother who was feeding them to demons, really captivated the audience. The backstory is something that catches the audience attention, because I don't know about you, but I wasn't expecting for them to say that Ray had known for a while, not since he was an infant. I think that's what really shocked me and a lot of people that watched it. So basically, he had to be the only one enduring the pain and trying to figure out ways for him and his siblings to escape or save his siblings. And it just gives Ray more of a character development, and it makes the audience want to root for him to survive, even when he kind of quote-unquote betrayed some people. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. If you like, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys next time for more. Peace.